Up the mountains I climb to drink the light they call divine. Countless have lost their way to become the way, and I am no different. Take this staff, this cloak, take this burden, this yoke. He is waiting, you see. He is waiting for you and me. Between the trees and through the river, in dark times and when hope's a sliver, it is then when the clouds part, the light shines, the trail starts. No later than I reach the summit to find the journey's just begun. Up the mountains I climb. I have always been fascinated by the spiritual journey. To me, it evokes a feeling of escape, adventure, and growth. And there is no better way for me to visualize this journey than being in nature. Hiking up a trail, strolling by a river, touching the trees and flowers around me. These are all ways I connect with my soul and connect with God. But as fascinating as the spiritual journey can be, I have to sometimes remind myself that it's no ordinary journey. There really is no start nor end. There is no traveling in the general sense of the word. There simply is a recognition of what we have been all along. A recognition that we are the soul behind this body and not this false or illusionary self we call the ego. Of course, we actually do need to sometimes travel physically, mentally, or emotionally to come to this realization. But the treasure we seek has always been right here under our very nose. Our soul is not locked up in a towering castle in a faraway land. We do not need to vanquish enemies nor befriend strangers to move closer toward our essence. We simply need to be, and more importantly, to trust in this being. That is when the clouds part, the light shines, the trail starts. When we surrender to the present moment and embody the universal consciousness that is our soul, we begin to see the real path. Not the path found by reading books or listening to experts, but rather the path found by listening to our own silence, listening to this deep and beautiful energy radiating throughout our entire being. We often think that we are traveling this journey alone, but the truth is we're not. Millions of people are in the exact same spiritual journey as you and I are. It just manifests itself differently on the surface. We all have this yearning to reach this beautiful abode, this place of peace and light and love, a place where we can be with God. Because this journey was not created for no reason. It was created from the minute we were born to help us return back to our true home. It's as if I picked you up right now, put you on a plane, flew you thousands of miles across the other side of the planet, and then gave you a map to find your way back home. This map, my friends, is none other than your soul. The very power or energy that is whispering to you when no one else is listening, guiding you back to your true home. Sometimes we might misplace the map. Other times we might ignore it outright. But no matter what we do, that map is always there. It is up to us to follow it and return home. Since the spiritual journey is more than just the physical journey, this traveling and returning back home manifests itself as returning to our unfiltered and unadulterated essence. This can be unlearning all of the things that have made us unloving, fearful, insecure, and proud. It could be letting go of the distorted thoughts and personal stories we have created about ourselves and others. Or it could be allowing ourselves to finally heal and be loved no matter what kind of personal tragedy or trauma we have experienced. Regardless of how it transpires, returning home is less about adding something new in your life as it is about subtracting something already there. Subtracting some sort of an obstacle or blockage, preventing you from embracing this childlike and blissful state inside. In Sufism, this is often referred to as the veil covering our true self. In Western philosophy and psychology, it is sometimes known as the ego, which, of course, if you're familiar with this channel, you know I use quite a bit. The name or label, though, is not that important. What is important, however, is developing the awareness to realize that there is a true self hidden beneath all these egoic layers we have created. And it is in the spiritual journey that we can reverse this process of the ego developing, that we can return back to our simple and peaceful essence. It is sometimes helpful to know that we were given a soul to remember what it is actually reflecting, Source. And when we are reconnecting with our soul, we are actually reconnecting with God. He has been waiting for you and me all this time to come back home, to enjoy the peace and love that is our birthright, and to rise above this shadow of a life we are living. All of our anxiety and suffering arises from the fact that we are so far away from our true home. And so we must journey. We must practice silence. We must embody love. We must be aware of our thinking. And we must be courageous enough to leave behind this world of momentary comfort for the unknown world of true peace and tranquility. It is really not that hard if you can always remember that God is with you every single step of the way. So climb this mountain that is your ego to drink His divine light. Let go of the staff and cloak that you have identified as yourself. The soul is always greater than the clothes that cover it. And what is your body but the clothes for your soul? Lose the way you think is yours and become the way that you know is yours. The former was created by your mind, but the latter has always lived inside your soul. And when you reach the summit of understanding, when you reach this beautiful state called awakening that so few souls ever reach, you will learn that the journey has just begun. That's because the real fun begins when you have finally returned home, when you are finally one with your Creator again and living your best and most peaceful and enlightened life. Until then, climb this mountain. Climb it even if your legs fail, even if the cold and harsh winds blow you down, making you start all over. Because there is no greater joy in life than returning back to our home, our Creator, our essence. So I hope this poem sheds some light on this beautiful adventure we call the spiritual journey. We are all at different points on this mountain, but make no mistake, every single one of us is climbing in one direction back to our source. Never let fear or comfort get in the way of undergoing this journey. There will inevitably be failures, setbacks, and sacrifices, but the reward is too great for even me to describe. What better reward is there than to embody your actual self, your soul, and to live from this wise and peaceful being every moment of your life? Watch all of your worries go away and notice a new you being born. And if that's something that gets you excited and uplifted, then I'm willing to bet that you'll also benefit from some of the other videos on this channel. If so, make sure you guys subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the latest videos coming out every week that all build upon one another and that can ultimately help you on your own spiritual journey. But regardless, thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to watch this video, and I hope I can see you soon on another one of these videos.